Thank you for joining us on the RTO Superhero Podcast. Elevate your organization's potential by becoming a part of our superhero membership community. Gain exclusive access to resources, training, and support, all tailored for RTO professionals. Visit our website to join and start your journey towards compliance excellence today.
Hey there, RTO Superheroes. Welcome back to another episode of the RTO Superhero Podcast with me, Angela Connell-Richards, your guide to all things compliance, clarity, and confidence in the vet sector. Now, last week we took a good hard look at marketing compliance, and judging by the messages I've received, you're starting to realise that, we're just at the tip of a compliant rabbit hole, as it goes. So today I wanted to take you a bit deeper, because if you think you'll be in the clear on 1 July, you might be in for a rude awakening. This week's episode is all about hidden audit triggers. You know, the ones that sneak up on you when you're not expecting them. And the 3 big culprits are changes to scope, complaints, high-risk training products. So buckle up. We're here to shine a spotlight on the quiet compliance bombs waiting to go off. I thought audits only happened at re-registration. Well, let's start with this myth I hear all the time. Angela, we're not due for an audit until 2026. We've got plenty of time. Nope. That thinking is outdated and honestly dangerous. ASQA no longer works on a simple cycle of re-registration and registration. They've adopted a risk-based approach, which means they can and do initiate audits at any time based on scope activity, risk assessment of your training delivery, student or industry complaints, or internal data analysis from surveys and national registers. And the standards now give them even more grounds to investigate. Scope changes, the silent audit trigger. Let's dive into the first major trigger, addition to scope. Adding a course to your scope might seem like business as usual, but under the 2025 standards is also an invitation for scrutiny. Here's what often happens. You submit your application through training.gov.au or ASQA.net. You upload your documents, TAS, resources, assessment tools. You click submit, and within days or weeks, you're contacted for an audit. And that's not just a review of your new course. It's often a full RTO audit. Why? Because adding to scope tells ASQA you're expanding your delivery. You're potentially reaching a new cohort. You're offering something they may deem high risk or underperforming. If your documents aren't airtight or not even created in the first place, you're exposed. Complaints. One voice can trigger an audit. So next up, let's have a look at complaints. Most RTOs are reactive when it comes to complaints. You wait until a student sends an email or calls ASQA, and by then you're already in hot water. Here's what you need to know. A single complaint can trigger an investigation or a targeted audit. If ASQA receives multiple complaints about similar issues, course quality, poor support, misleading advertising, they may initiate a full compliance audit. I recently supported an RTO where a single student lodged a complaint about no proper support for online learning. The RTO had a support system on paper, but they couldn't demonstrate that the student had been guided on how to use it. The lack of evidence hurt them. Moral of the story? You're not being audited because you did something wrong. You're being audited because you can't prove that you're doing something right. Okay, high-risk training products. Are you delivering one? Let's talk about the third hidden danger, high-risk training products. Now, ASQA has been tracking qualifications and units of competencies with high non-completion rates, high complaint volumes, lower employer satisfaction, or historically poor outcomes. And if you're delivering one of these products, you're automatically under the microscope. Common examples include early education and care and support, individual support, business administration, security operations, hospitality and cookery, and first aid. Delivering these isn't the issue. It's whether you're demonstrating quality, consistency, and student support. So if your TAS isn't aligned, your placement partners are underperforming, or your validation records are a bit thin, watch out. What can you do about it? You might be thinking, okay, Angela, you've just scared the hell out of me. What am I going to do now? Here's what I want you to do this week. Download our audit trigger checklist. We've created a practical, no fluff checklist you can run through in just under 20 minutes. It covers your scope history, compliant handling process, risky training products, evidence gaps. So head to vivacity.com.au or check out the link in the show notes. Review your addition to scope history. If you've added anything in the last 12 months, pull up your documents and do a self-audit. Does your TAS, assessment tools, and trainer credentials stack up? Do you have a delivery and assessment plan in place? Have you updated your trainer's matrix? You need to have all of these in place. Number 3, strengthen your complaint handling framework. Do you have an accessible complaints form? Are complaints lodged and reviewed monthly? Do you have records of outcomes and student follow-ups? Because when you can demonstrate transparency and responsiveness, you're protecting your RTO's integrity. Let me share a story. Names changed, of course. Silver Sky College, fictional. They added a Certificate 4 in Community Services to scope in January. Their TAS was copied from a previous qual. Trainer didn't have relevant or recent industry experience. Complaints had been lodged but no documented outcomes. ASQA requested additional evidence. What should have been a 2-week review turned into a targeted audit. The outcome? Scope suspended for 3 months whilst they were required to fix multiple non-compliances. Here's your lesson. Everything you submit for scope is an audit of your integrity. Don't cut corners. So, what's the takeaway for today? Audit triggers don't wait for your calendar. They don't care if you're busy. They happen when you add a new course, miss a complaint, or deliver a course that's already under ASQA's radar. But the good news is you can prepare for it proactively. Download the Audit Trigger Checklist from vivacity.com.au and use it at your next team meeting. Next week, we're zooming in on one of the most dangerous assumptions in RTO land. We updated our policies. We're fine now, right? Spoiler alert, you're probably not. Until then, keep leading, keep learning, and remember, compliance is your culture, not a document in a folder. Catch you next week on the RTO Superhero Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the RTO Superhero Podcast. Ready to transform your compliance process? Discover Comply Hub, Vivacity's AI-powered compliance management system, designed to streamline your operations and give you peace of mind. Visit our website to learn more and schedule your demo today.